We got how streamers are ruined gaming, probably because everybody's a sweat, takes the game so serious. I'm curious. Let's see.
Talk about gaming before streaming was popular and gaming after streaming became popular, and by the end of this video you'll have an answer on if streaming really ruined gaming or not. Now, a few months ago I was actually scrolling through Twitter and I saw this tweet.
I'm just gonna go right off the bat and say, like, I don't think necessarily streaming ruined gaming. I definitely think it had a huge impact on the way that, you know, your skill in a game is viewed and the insecurities that people have around not being good. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's. I don't think there's a single root of the cause of what ruined gaming, as they say in today's world.
Right here that says dominating blue collar workers in BattleBit. If you don't know what BattleBit is, well, it's basically like Battlefield and Roblox, and this is pretty much the whole clip. Yeah, pretty much that guy is just straight up dominating people.
That guy's
that's
going
pretty much
off.
it. And I saw a quote tweet that said, "Esports ruined casual gaming." Now, I know the whole title of this video is like something along the lines of how streamers ruined gaming, but I'm gonna put streamers and esports kind of in the same category. I say that because with streaming,
Which is actually crazy. Which is actually crazy to do, to put streamers and esports in the same category. Just because you are a streamer, you are nowhere near an esports. Obviously, him showing it's Timmy right here is a little different. But yeah, I mean, your typical streamer, your typical top 500 streamer of a game. You know, like we'll take the games we play, right? Like Rocket League, Overwatch, Valorant. Your typical top 500 players, say they all stream, none of them could still probably make it in a pro lobby in any of their games. They're two completely different levels. I see what they're doing, what he's doing here with the video, but yeah, I mean, two completely different leagues.
kind of got to either be good at a game or funny, and with esports you got to be good at a game. So I'm gonna put them both together because they're pretty similar, if I do say so myself.
You definitely do not have to be good at a game to stream. Everybody thinks that, and it's just blatantly not true. That some of the biggest streamers are perfect examples of that. I mean, we'll use XQC as an example. Like, of course, he was an Overwatch pro way back in the day, but everything that he plays, like, he's not like high ranked at. When that dude played Rocket League, dude, he went through a whole Rocket League phase. He got to like plat. If you're not entertaining, you do. Yeah, I mean, I get that for sure. If you're not good at the game, you have to be entertaining. But I think there's so many people that people don't realize that are very, very good at the game, and they still sit there with 3 viewers. So you still have to, you still have to be somewhat entertaining to stream, even if you're great at a game. It doesn't really matter, or you have to have built up some kind of reputation.
But to really understand this, we gotta go all the way back to 2018, the Fortnite boom. Before Fortnite was this cringe cash grab that pretty much just preyed on little kids for money, it was a game that nobody truly knew how to play and everyone had fun with it. I mean, back in 2018, every single human being was talking about Fortnite. I mean, back then you had Fortnite meme pages, every single human being was posting their wins, people were doing emotes IRL.
Fortnite move! Oh, do it again. Fortnite move, bitch!
That's pretty clean.
I mean, that's how we got the infamous ninja clip.
Everyone wants to get it. Come on, baby. Show me what you got. Show me what. Just move. If you got to know it, just move. It's all I want to see some movement.
It was in this moment right here, because I remember this. It was in this moment. I've only been ashamed to be in the gaming audience, like considered in the gamer category of human beings. This was one of the moments where I was ashamed. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not seeing enough movement.
Bro, look at this. Like, look at them all just staring at this guy. And this is New Year's, bro. This is literally, I'm pretty sure, at the ball drops. Like, these people down here are all probably so drunk and so messed up, and they still can't get down with it.
Oh my god.
And since Fortnite was so popular, one thing that also became popular because of Fortnite was streaming. Back then, Twitch was like pretty niche, but I'd say that Fortnite made Twitch more mainstream. And you may be asking, why did people go to Twitch and not YouTube?
I would definitely think I'd have to disagree. I mean, I think Fortnite shifted was a big shift in the meta for streaming, of course. I mean, it brought a lot of people to the category, but Twitch was well established before 2018. And I know obviously it's going to bring up YouTube. Like, YouTube, their live streaming, they don't really care too much about. I mean, never know, I guess, but as of right now, Twitch always still holds the most of the market. Twitch was definitely well established by 2018 because they had the Amazon Prime. When did Amazon buy them out? That was 2018, right? I feel like that was before. I could be wrong. But yeah, Twitch definitely was established before Fortnite. That's so funny.
YouTube. Well, the thing about YouTube is that a lot of YouTube videos are edited, and some people, they may be good on YouTube, but it's like on Twitch. Twitch is live, Twitch is raw. So if you lose, like, people are gonna see you lose, and if you win, people
You get exposed, right? You get exposed streaming when you're live because anything can happen. Like anybody can post a montage of their best clips, but it doesn't really matter until, everybody sees an entire game. And yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy how many people that sit there and were super big on YouTube and then they went to streaming and were completely irrelevant because they weren't what they let on about their gameplay.
people are gonna see you win. And that's why Twitch was so popular, because you could see high-level gameplay in real time. To determine if somebody was truly good, all you had to do was just watch them on Twitch. And with Twitch becoming so popular, some streamers that a bunch of people were watching back then was people like Myth, Ninja, Dr. Lupo, Nick Mercs. The whole Ninja versus Myth argument was like the biggest topic in school. I remember I was back in like freaking 10th grade and we were arguing at lunch table.
Bro, I used to see little kids sit there and fight about Ninja and Myth like it was a Jordan and Kobe LeBron, or the Jordan Kobe LeBron debate. It was so stupid. I thought it was so. I mean, everyone's got their own taste, but in my opinion, like, who cared at the time?
Was talking about if Myth or Ninja was better. I'm not gonna lie, back then I was team Myth. But with all those popular streamers and pro players being in the limelight, that made more people want to be a pro player / streamer. I mean, did y'all see how some of these Fortnite teams were getting down? Bro, I'm telling you, if I had to crank a few 90s to be a freaking Fortnite pro back then, I probably would. And that's exactly where the downfall of gaming happened. Everyone started focusing on the money you can make from gaming rather than the fun from gaming. Fortnite used to be this game where you try to win by doing these creative strats like building a sky base, building a huge metal base, or maybe even camping in a bush. But then it turned into this huge sweat fest when people saw that you could make abnormal amounts of money from this game. Back then, if you shot at a dude, they would probably start.
Yeah, but like let's be honest, it's been like that for long before Fortnite. We go all the way back to Diablo 2. Again, never played, but you were selling things for real gold or for real money on the auction house. Like, you think people weren't sitting there sweating and quitting their jobs to just run that while they could? There's so many people that sweat games to make money off them. I get what he's saying, like this made it mainstream, but this, like playing a game super serious, for whatever reason, has been around long before Fortnite.
Shooting at you back like they wouldn't even build. But now if you shoot at somebody in Fortnite, they're building a whole freaking skyscraper.
Yeah, I mean, that's because a game's always gonna be completely different. You look at a game like Rocket League, and if you look at season 1 of RLCS, those people they'd probably be in gold, maybe, in today's world. Like, games just evolve. That's how it is. Of course Fortnite's gonna be a completely different game in 3-4 years after it comes out. It makes sense. They evolve.
Hotel with Wi-Fi. It's actually wild. Now let me say this right now. I do also say that that's kind of just time. Like, with time, people get better. But
exactly.
My point is that everyone's playing games to be the best rather than to just have fun with their boys. Everyone is playing to be watched on Twitch or watched on YouTube. I mean, you ever play a game and you get killed by somebody with a TTV gamer tag and you go to their Twitch?
God, couldn't be me. Could never.
And they're not streaming at all. They're just sweating just to sweat. Like, everyone is just playing for that top spot, because in that top spot you can make content out of it, and with that content comes a whole lot of money. Unless you're playing like Farming Simulator and you're a pro. I don't really think you make a lot of money from like pro Farming Simulator, but I don't know. I might become a Farming Simulator pro. You never know. Bars. But yeah,
I saw the Supermarket Simulator came out. I saw a bunch of people playing that. I could be down to devote a lot of time into a game like that. I would just sit there and yell at the customers all day. But yeah, you can make any game. You can make money off of any game, and people just came to discover that. Like, it wasn't mainstream. So of course, once people figure out about it, they're gonna go and blow it up.
Everyone's pretty much playing to be watched. I remember back then, games wouldn't really get sweaty until like 2 or 3 weeks after.
And let's also not pretend like everyone here sits here and says, "Oh, everybody just wants to be seen now." Let's not all pretend that when we dropped nukes in MW2 and you had these insane games of MW3 and you got kill of the game, that you weren't sitting out there pulling up your piece of shit phone with a little camera, not to share with YouTube and not to like, go viral or go public. Like you weren't clipping that shit and saving it and sending it to the boys. We were all doing it. It's just now it's more accessible. Also, when Twitch launched, I imagine like the technology is just so crazy that most people probably didn't have a PC that could stream all the way up to, Twitch's standards. And back then, I don't even know if you could have streamed on an Xbox and a PlayStation. Like the market has just played out completely different. Technology's gotten, it's more expensive, but it's also a lot cheaper. Shit, my Facebook memories pop up with Madden clips. Exactly. My Snapchat memories come up with clips of like 2K15. It's beautiful. I love it. I really do enjoy looking back at those clips. Like I'm like, dude, it's not that the clip is great. It's just like to think about that at that time, I cared so much to put that up. I think it's hilarious.
Release, but now games are sweaty off the rip. It can be 5 days away from Call of Duty coming out and you already got a dude making a video saying best class setup 2023.
Yeah, I mean they're just doing that for content farms. The people that still play it when it first comes out are usually still shit.
MW3, and it's like, bro, the game hasn't even released. It can be 2 weeks before 2K comes out and a dude already has the best build. It makes no sense. And when the game comes out, people are only going to play the meta, because when you only play the meta, you can win more, and when you win more, you can get up to that top rank.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think I don't know if I would say the majority of gamers are meta. I mean, I could definitely see it if that, somehow statistically could be proven. But I do think there's still a lot of your veteran gamers and stuff like that, or people that have been gaming for 20, 30 years. A lot of them don't really follow any meta, and they generally prefer to kind of figure things out themselves.
When you get up to that top rank, you can stream, create content.
You know why? Because they don't care where they place. They don't care if they're not the number one rank and everything, which is great.
Content from it, more people are going to watch you because you're up high on the leaderboards, and then the cycle just continues and continues and continues, and now everyone's just playing the same because everyone's just trying to be the best to be able to stream it / be watched. Back then you would play games for the fun because there was really no money involved, but now it's like every single human being is trying to become the
It's also kind of crazy to let's say that like people played games back in the day and money wasn't involved. I mean, I'm not gonna go like ancient relics of gaming, but wasn't there still pro leagues with like was there pro Call of Duty still in like MW2, MW3 days, or did pro stuff not start until like the Black Ops series? Because I know Black Ops 2 had league play, but me personally, like I don't really remember. But like there's always been a massive competitive nature, and of course with a competitive landscape comes money and sponsors and all that. So I feel like money being involved has kind of always been there. Of course it's not going to be involved when you were playing Pong when it originally came out, but when since 2000, early 2000s, I would say
top streamer, and it's like, bro, like where's the fun in that? Back then gaming tournaments were giving out speckles. I'm telling you, if you won a gaming tournament for like freaking Mortal Kombat or Halo or something like that, you were probably going to get 50 cents in a Big Mac. But now if you win a freaking Fortnite tournament, or you just win a freaking Call of Duty tournament, dog, you're honestly set. You can buy your mom a freaking mansion. People are getting millions from tournaments. I mean, look at Booga, bro. Didn't he won like 3 million, I'm pretty sure, off of Fortnite? That is wild. That is insane money. Another thing about gaming after streaming is that games that aren't even sweaty are becoming sweaty. For example, Fall Guys. I remember back in 2020, every single human being was playing Fall Guys during quarantine. And with everybody playing Fall Guys, TikTok got a hold of that. And I remember scrolling through TikTok one day, and I saw this one dude making videos of the best strats on certain maps on Fall Guys. And I just thought to myself, what do you gain from being a sweat in Fall Guys? What do you gain? Like, I understand you're trying to show people how to win and stuff, but I feel like the reason why Fall Guys was so fun was because nobody was making strats or anything.
Do you know why? You know why that person makes that video? A lot of times they make the video because they have figured something out, and they know that they're not the only ones looking for this answer. So they know by putting out a guide, whether that's on TikTok, YouTube, whatever it may be, people are going to watch. And what does people watching do? That turns into partnerships, that turns into sponsorships, that turns into getting paid for people watching your view. It's not necessary. I bet you the person that, like, a lot of the people that make these speed run things and stuff like that, they don't even necessarily care so much about the game itself. They just care about that they figured something out and that they know the pattern to a certain type of game that they can kind of teach a lot of people on that they don't know. That's really why. I don't even think most of them are usually sweaty. I mean, of course some speed runners are sweaty, but shortcuts and guides and stuff like that, those people a lot of times aren't even the best in the game. They just happen to know a lot.
People are just hopping in, having fun, just playing like headless chickens, you know? I feel like games die out quicker when you're making all these strats and stuff on how to win, when it's not even like, obviously, yes, the goal in Fall Guys is to win, but I feel like the whole point of that game is to enjoy the journey. Like the fun with friends, the freaking hurdles you're going over, that one dude griefing you on the map. Like when you're only focused on trying to get crowns in that game, the game becomes less fun because you're just focused on the destination.
Nah, he definitely, you guys are right. He does have a point here. But let's not, the few times that we all got on Fall Guys, we were playing hard against each other to get those crowns. Game's longevity is not the same as it was. 100%. That is absolutely true. I also feel like though, because we're in a time where there's just so much competition. Like your game needs to, I mean, what game, when you guys think about it, like has kept your attention for so long, whether it's because you do something like you said to where they already did the guide, they built a best, or the game itself just like they're not putting out enough content because better competition comes out, all those things. It's kind of crazy for sure.
Rather than the journey. Imagine coming home from a long day of school or work and you're getting sweated on in Fall Guys. Imagine you're over there just trying to chill, you know, you're on this little cutesy game that's like Wipeout, and out of nowhere, TTV Try Hard for Life literally just claps you every single map, and it's like, dude, you can't even have fun anymore. And since everyone's tryharding, games are now catering to the bad players. One thing that games have been implementing is this thing called skill-based matchmaking. If you don't know what it is, well, I'll basically explain. Think of a lobby where all the top players from a bunch of different games all get into a lobby with each other and go head to head. Basically ranked play, but with no bonus rewards or anything. You just kind of get into a lobby with the best players without getting any specific reward in casual play. And the thing about skill-based matchmaking is that it's unfair because the good players are being punished for being good at the game. And it gets to this point where it's like winning feels like a chore rather than actual fun. Because back then, if you truly wanted to sweat, you would go into like a ranked game mode or something. But now, if you're a tryhard, you're gonna play every single other tryhard 24/7 just because you're good at the game. Back then, games like Call of Duty, what they would do, you would join a lobby, and if you wanted to leave that lobby, you would just leave it, and if you wanted to stay after the game, you would stay. But now, after a game is finished, they just transport you to a whole different lobby with everyone else who also did good, and it's like, now you gotta go head to head with all the big dogs just because you won one game. I remember Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, that had...
I feel like skill-based matchmaking as a general concept is not a bad thing. Like skill-based matchmaking, I think is totally okay to have in a casual playlist, but I feel like just the way that they go about implementing it, and I'm not the guy to sit here and give you the answer on, oh, what's the fix, but I feel like skill-based matchmaking as a concept is a good thing. It's just a matter of how it gets balanced.
Some of the worst skill-based matchmaking ever. That game was borderline unplayable because if you won one game, you would be playing the freaking Optic roster from freaking 2014 just from winning one game. And another way of games catering to bad players, Fortnite adding bots into their games just so you can feel better about yourself.
This was stupid. This I do agree. I think this was a bad idea. I mean, I see why people do it. I guess I don't know if I should say it's a good or bad idea, but I personally hated this. I hated for some reason when I finally got back on Fortnite on PC instead of PlayStation. I had a fresh account that I had to sit there and get 25 kills a game on bots and it say win, and it's like, dude, no, I didn't. Like, I don't feel good about this. I understand why you're doing it, and there probably is somebody out there that, you know, has a good time with it, but I think it's a horrible idea.
Yourself. Let's be real, it is 2023. Nobody is a default anymore in Fortnite. I mean, back then, yes, there were people who were bad at the game, but nobody is so bad that they're literally running into a wall 24/7 in Fortnite. So now it's like there's no middle ground between the good and the bad players. It's like, if you're good, you're being punished, and if you're bad, you're being rewarded. There's actually this tweet by FaZe Sway that says, "The downfall of video games started when kids complained about people being good at the game. I remember when I was a kid and saw a Master Prestige in COD, I didn't tell him to take a shower or go outside. I sent that MF a friend request."
This is actually so fucking true. This is actually so true. I usually didn't send him a friend request, but I usually hardly ever shit talk those people that were the master prestige or anything like that. I mean, if you chirp them a little bit, if they're sitting there at the bottom of the board and they're 3-9 in a fucking hardpoint game to start, like, yeah, you chirp them a little bit. Of course, say, yo, aren't you master prestige? What the hell are you doing at the bottom of the board? But we never really like it's just that mentality of like you saw somebody was high ranked and you were like, oh shit, like I'm not gonna sit there and tell them off because you knew they'd probably bust your ass. But now you have little silvers in games thinking that they can compete in a top 500 or just a really high lobby game.
And that's facts. Instead of actually putting in the work to be good, a lot of people just sit there and complain, and now games are kind of catering to them. But one game that I say that kind of bridged the middle ground between the really good players and the really bad players is Street Fighter 6. One thing that Street Fighter 6 did, they added something called modern controls and classic controls. Classic controls, basically you have to do more to push out a combo, and if you do that successfully, then that combo does more damage. But if you play modern controls, you only hit square or something, and it'll do a full
Tekken 8 actually just did this, and I think this is a great way of doing it, because what it does is it allows the people that are newer to the game or newer to a genre, things like that, they get to do cooler things on their screen doing less work. But at the end of the day, I know damn well if you pull up like a Tekken top 500 thing right now, and if you look, I forget what they called. I forget what they called it in the game, but basically they have a classic and then a today's one, and I bet you none of them are using today's. But I think this is a good concept. This is kind of the way to implement helping out the newer players so that they don't feel so far behind, but not necessarily giving anybody any kind of advantage.
Combo, and those combos do less damage, so it kind of bridges the gap between good and bad players. But that's a whole fighting game. How can this be fixed in like games that are like FPS or something like that? In my honest opinion, I say that FPS games should just go back to like the regular lobbies. Back then you could join a lobby, scope out the lobby, see who's like the freaking best players and stuff, and if they were a little too good for your level, you could leave if you wanted to. Like, I don't think that you should be transported into the freaking universe of the top 12 Call of Duty masters after you win one game. I feel like there should always be that option to.
That's obviously exaggerating. Just because you win one game doesn't mean you go all the way to the top, but he's definitely right. I do wish, like, as far as FPS games, casual game modes went back more towards casual. Even the comment I made about SBMM earlier, I think it's just I think it's easier on people to make a game with no SBMM, and then I think it's better for the community. I think more people would be okay with random versus the amount of people that complain about SBMM.
Stay if you want to stay, or leave if you want to leave. There was nothing wrong with those lobbies back then. It's just like games just wanted to cater to the bad players, So it's honestly just like gaming is just honestly a huge sweat fest. And that rounds back to like the ultimate question of this video. Did streamers really ruin gaming? In my honest opinion, yes. I 1000% believe that streamers in esports ruined gaming, because there is no reason why people should be sweating at a game where you literally farm cabbages. How do you even sweat in Farming Simulator? How? Let me know in the comments. Do y'all think streamers / pro players ruin gaming? Or like, what's your guys' take on this whole situation? Let me know. But yeah, this is going to wrap up the video. If you guys made this far, I appreciate you. If you guys enjoyed this video, then I highly recommend you guys check out my most recent video where I talk about why everyone hates prank channels. But yeah, with all that being said, thank you guys for watching. It's Cameron, and I'm out.
That was definitely a really good video though. He brings up a lot of good points. Definitely like sub to him. I'm gonna link you guys a video here. So here's the thing. Like, you guys are sitting here saying that you're with him, right? I don't think that there's not one direct problem to what we can sit here and say what ruined gaming in today's world. I definitely think that streamers and esports as a whole, they play a good role in it. I think that that's definitely fair. But I mean, part of it is just technology and what's kind of happened over the course of time with discoverability on social media and so many things just that you can have publicized. More people get eyes on the things that they would have posted, before. Take everybody in the early 2000s that did not, have any kind of ability to do social media and stuff like that. And if that stuff was out there, they'd have been doing it the same way. Gaming was better before streaming was so popular. Yeah, I don't know. I go back and forth. Like, there's just part of like the old days that I like, and then there's part of just the new day. I think people just also need to stop caring. Like genuinely, stop caring. I know so many people. Listen, I have so many friends that I've sat here and tried to be like, oh, you should mess around in like the ARPG category because all they're doing is sitting there playing sweaty FPS comp games, and then they sit there and complain, oh, gaming's just not fun. We'll branch out a little bit, maybe play something that's not sweaty. And no, I don't want to do that. Then I don't really want to hear you complain that gaming is in a shitty space. Go play something that doesn't involve you sweating your nuts off. Like a lot of these people that sit here and complain, I don't really want to hear you say that a game is not fun and then see you on there still playing it every single day. Doesn't do anything. Canada content suffers. Yeah, I mean, you know, be more entertaining then. Be better at just than, one category. If you have a massive following, you can already kind of do whatever. Overwatch sucks by play. Overwatch in a good spot right now. This was a good video though. I like it.